New Milwaukee ratchets from a 3-inch stubby all the way up to an 18-inch extended handle. We'll dig deep into the details when we get back. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. As I mentioned, Milwaukee has a complete new line of ratchets. Yes, they've had standard ratchets, they've had 90-tooth ratchets, but they haven't had extended handle ratchets and they haven't had stubby ratchets, and now they've released both. Now you may be here because you watched our video on all the new mechanics tools that Milwaukee is releasing for this year. Now a few months ago we actually had the Milwaukee Pipeline event where it talked about all the new tools that were coming out for this year. But they didn't include some of these. So we had a special mechanics event. So check that video out. Make sure you check the link in the description. Also, there should be a link right up here as well. So be sure you watch that video because there's a lot more tools coming out than just these ratchets. But for right now, let's dig into these ratchets. I love it. This little bitty stubby guy is awesome. Little 1/4-inch drive, 3-inch stubby. Then on the other stubby side, we have the 3/8 drive that's just a 5-inch ratchet, all the way up to the 1/4-inch, 3/8 and 1/2-inch drive extended handle ratchets, as I mentioned, all the way up to the 18-inch. Now before I just keep blabbering on, let's take a deeper look at these. And in fact, I'm going to show you something that Milwaukee doesn't even talk about, and I think it's one of the key features on these new ratchets. These are the brand new stubby and extended handle ratchets from Milwaukee. Now obviously by the name stubby and extended reach or extended handle, obviously you get a long ratchet and more of the shorty ratchets. These are ratchets they haven't had before, so it's good to see them expanding in their hand tool area, and especially here, mechanics like to see, you know, longer reach ratchets when they need it, as well as a little stubby. I love to see this little guy here. What we have as far as length is we have an 18-inch, so you can see here, so 18-inch ratchet, that's in a 1/2-inch drive, and the 3/8 drive long reach is 12 inches. And the long reach 1/4-inch is 9 inches, and then you step down to 5 inches for this extended hand, or for the stubby 3/8, and just 3 inches long for the stubby 1/4-inch. Now when we're talking about weight, don't know if it means a lot, but I think when you pick up a ratchet, you don't want it to feel too light, if you will. You want to see that there's good weight. I guess you don't want to see it, you want to feel it, right? So you want to feel that there's good weight there. So let's just throw these up on the scale. I'm going to go ahead, you know what, we'll do pounds and ounces. And so the big guy, again, 18-inch extended handle ratchet, and we're looking at over 2 pounds for this ratchet, so 2 pounds 7 ounces, almost 2.5 pounds for that ratchet. And if you want to look at grams, 1,110 grams. Now for the 3/8, as far as weight goes, right at 1 pound, so 15 ounces, 15.8 ounces, so right at a pound. Of course, a pound is 16 ounces, if that helps you at all. So for the 3/8 long reach, you're looking at right at a pound, and then for the 1/4-inch extended, looking at 6.7 ounces, so right at 1/2 pound. Again, if we do grams, 190 grams on the 1/4-inch. And let me throw the 3/8 back on there for grams. 450 grams for the 3/8 inch long handle. And then for grams on the 3/8 stubby, 135 or 4.5 ounces for the little stubby 3/8. Now let's throw the little 1/4-inch stubby up there. And as far as ounces, we're looking at 3.1 ounces or just 90 grams for this little guy. Now, as far as model numbers on these, for the big guy you're looking at, this is the 9050 or the 48-22-9050. It's going to run you $69.99 or let's just call it 70 bucks. Then you get the 3/8 extended. It's going to be the 48-22-9037. That's going to run you 50 bucks. And then on the 1/4-inch extended handle, it is the 48-22-9005. That's going to run you $40. And then stepping down to the little stubby in the 3/8 is the 48-22-9036. And that's going to run you $35. And then this little guy is 25 bucks, and it's the 48-22-9003. And that's the little 1/4-inch stubby ratchet, just 3 inches long. Now, all of these include the new 90 tooth ratchet head design. You also get a very slim ratchet head design and with hardly any protrusions out of here. So you do have the directional lever, that's it. Have no push button detent, and it's a thin head design as well. And you can see that even the directional lever barely sticks proud above the ratchet head there. You see they have this recession cut out here. It's milled nicely, and that directional lever is just about below grade, but it does stick up just a bit on this. And that's the same case for even the 1/2 inch as well. So you can see the protrusion here, but not by much. So you shouldn't get that hung up very often. Now, here's the thing. Really love the 90 tooth design. Obviously, you're going to get a 4-degree swing arc. That's nice. Love the beefiness of it. I mean, it's definitely got some weight to it. It's got a nice, elliptical feel down here, comfortable handle to hold. When I get into my big extended reach ratchets, I don't like to see plastic or rubber. I know some guys, they disagree. They like their rubber handles. I don't on a ratchet. I like it all chrome. I like it to clean up easy. So anyway, like that. Now, one thing that Milwaukee really doesn't talk about is the construction of this thing. And I think that they're missing a key component in, just talking to people and, bragging about their technology here. Let me open this up and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to move these little guys aside and we're just going to work on the bigger one just because it'll be easier for me to show you here. And I believe these are 10, number 10 Torx. Try not to lose anything. So then we're going to pull our plate and our pawl out and our anvil. And you'll see a few things here. Oh, wow, it's all going to come out together. So here's our pawl. Here's our anvil. Here's our plate. And let me show you what they haven't talked about. So number one, it looks like they're using super lube for a lube or some type of, if you're not aware of super lube, it's basically like an engine assembly lube. Permatex makes it, and there's some other equivalents as well, but definitely not grease in here. It's more of a thinner consistency. Let me grab something real quick. But if you'll look closer here at this ratchet head, we have an O-ring here for the plate. We have a recession in this plate right around here where this O-ring actually resides, or where it lays, if you will. So we get a nice seal from the plate to the O-ring to the body. Okay, that's going to seal that ratchet from the plate to the body. Now what we also have is we have an O-ring here as well. Hard to see, but I'll prove it to you. Try not to mess it up here. So there's our O-ring here as well. So now we've got an O-ring that goes from the actual anvil to the ratcheting mechanism to the plate. So now that's sealing that part. Okay, so we're not getting water or dust intrusion, or in a sense letting our lubrication escape either. Then we actually look a little further, and so I've got to, number one, take this little guy out. That's our little spring detent for our directional lever. And then inside here I have to take this little tang out as well to show you one last O-ring. By the way, if you do this, be careful because there's a spring inside that directional assembly holding that ball bearing and that spring. And now look here, even on the directional lever here, we have an O-ring. I'm not going to take this one off, but I can show it to you right here. So we're keeping any dust, particulate, even fluid out of this ratchet head. It's a completely sealed unit. I see high-end ratchets that don't have that. And I say high-end, a lot of your tool truck brands, and I'll show you specifically right now. Now here is a very well-known tool truck brand. And this ratchet alone is, I believe, several $100s, if not at least a couple of $100s. And you'll see here, we have an O-ring here on the anvil, which just doesn't make a lot of sense. No ring, nothing sealed whatsoever from this plate to the body of this ratchet. So again, any type of intrusion, whether it be dust getting in, whether it be lubrication getting out. So not even this one has that, but yet Milwaukee's including that. And by the way, if you think that it's just on their big ratchet, that is not the case. I have taken even the stubby apart. I believe I've taken 3 of them apart, and all of them have this same design where you have an O-ring from the anvil to the plate, from the plate to the body, as well as on the directional lever also. So kudos to Milwaukee for doing some good design work, or at least incorporating the right tool engineers to understand what pros are wanting. I think this ratchet's going to last a long time. Also, this single paw design with the 90 tooth, you know, there's really only one way to increase your tooth count and still have the amount of power and force that you're able to put on a ratchet, and that's with more surface area. So in other words, a large paw design like this that's going to give you many more teeth rather than just your standard, say, 2 or 4 teeth that are grabbing a hold, you know, from the paw to the anvil or to the ratchet. And in this case, you've got a nice, big, wide spread. I haven't counted those teeth, but it looks like at least 12 or so that are grabbing ahead of that ratchet at any point in time. Again, nice 90 tooth design. So that's my thoughts on where Milwaukee should be bragging about more is in the construction of their ratchets. Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's test some of these ratchets. I don't think that I really want to test tightening with the 1/2-inch drive. I really don't have anything to read that high. I've got something that'll read up to 250 foot-pounds, so we'll test loosening strength with the 1/2-inch drive extended. Let's take the 3/8 drive, extended handle, and can we agree that 250 foot-pounds would be about all you could add to this? In fact, I'll show you in a moment with the handle. I'll put all the force I can on it, and then I'll put a cheater bar on it, and we'll see how much more force we can get on it. But anyway, for tightening, we'll do the 3/8 drive. Now, then we'll step down to the 1/4 inch, and we'll tighten with it as well. But let's just agree that the stubbies are built out of the same thing as these, and you're never going to put as much force on a stubby, so we won't have to test those as well. Hopefully you can agree with me there. Exact same setup on these 2 smaller guys as these other ones. In fact, it looks like the same as the 1/4 inch on both of these. But again, it's not like you're going to be applying a lot of force with this little stubby. So let's start with the 3/8 drive. And what we're going to do here, we're going to take our little torqueometer and we're going to zero it out. And so first, just by hand, so yes, I have an adapter on here, but hopefully you understand that's not going to hurt anything. Got it on tighten, and I am going to, so it looks like I got 106 foot-pounds on this, held no problem whatsoever. And that's about all I want to give with my hand, my raw hand on that. So 106 foot-pounds, so let me clear that out. There we go. Now I'm going to take my cheater bar here, and we'll see if this paw actually holds up to a little more force. So it looks like we're hitting the peak here. I thought that I could get 250 out of this, but maybe not. So it looks like maybe 150 peak is the peak, but it looks like I was hitting 160 before. Yep. So it looks like I'm getting 165 foot-pounds out of this, and again, that's way more than I want to do with my bare hand whatsoever. And as far as the paws and the ratcheting mechanisms, it's holding just fine. So now let's step down to the 1/4 inch drive. So now I've got a 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and We'll see what kind of force we can get out of this. I don't want to push this too hard. I'm sure at some point we can reach critical failure. That's not what I'm after here. I'm not trying to reach that point that it's going to disintegrate those gears in there, but we will put a little bit of force on there anyway. So let me see what I can do with my hand. That's starting to really hurt my hand at 42.5 foot-pounds on this little 9-inch ratchet. So that means I'm putting probably 50, 60 foot-pounds of force on there because this is not quite a full foot. Okay, now what I'm going to do, we're going to take the 1/2 inch and I'm going to tighten these to say 250, 300, and 350 foot-pounds, and then I'm going to use the 1/2 inch to break those free. Okay, I'm going to start here with 250 foot-pounds. Okay, so what I've done here, I've torqued this one to 250 foot-pounds, this one to 300 foot-pounds, and this one to 350 foot-pounds. I think we can agree that that's probably all you're going to be applying with this 18-inch ratchet. In fact, that's a lot of force I'm going to have to dig in with, even with my cheater bar, to see if we can break these free. So here's 250. Okay, I got 250. Now here's 300. We go with my cheater bar here. There's 350. Or that was 300. Sorry, now here's 350. And there's 350. Just for the heck of it, let's go 400 as well. Okay, now we got 400 foot-pounds. All right, here we go. Okay, that's all I want to do. I think that, proves a point. Now, listen. If you don't understand with thread pitch and such, breaking a fastener free is definitely taking less force than tightening it, but usually it's that 75 to 85% rule. So even at 400 foot-pounds, that's still taking well over 300 foot-pounds to break that free. So it's still doing a great job. Okay, after using these, what did we break free? A 400 foot-pound bolt, 400 foot-pound fastener. So we did 250, 300, 350, and 400. And yes, if you take 75% of 400, it's only 300 foot-pounds. But again, if you're grabbing this with your hand and putting 300 foot-pounds of force on it, of course you have to divide by 1.5 because it's 1.5 feet long. But anyway, we'll leave all that science for another time. Regardless, that's probably more force than you're typically going to be. Maybe not. Listen, I know we all have those cheater bars. Here's my point. I think the 90-tooth design holds up very well. We showed how just on the 3/8 drive here, what did we pull out, over 165 foot-pounds. By the way, I thought my test unit was good for 250. It's not. It's rated for 150 foot-pounds, that little guy. So anyway, we exceeded the limit on that with the cheater bar on this 3/8 drive ratchet. And then even by hand with the 1/4 inch drive, what did we put, like 40, 50 foot-pounds on it? So I think we're exceeding the limits that would typically be done without your cheater bar. On your normal daily use of these ratchets, I think they're going to hold up very well. I don't think the bodies are going to have any problem whatsoever. As I mentioned, I love the all chrome design on it. Wipes off really easy. I also love that we got a little elliptical style here that kind of fits your hand a little better than just a round handle. Hey, make sure you check them out for yourself. They'll be coming out here in the months to come. Stay tuned to our channel. We'll definitely let you know when they are. You're going to pay all the way up to 70 bucks for the big guy, down to $25 for the little stubby, and we let you know in the video the exact details on the model numbers and on the prices on these, you're going to get lifetime warranty on these hand tools. So can't hardly beat that. That's really tough to do. Their power tools, they're going to give you 5-year warranty, and on their hand tools, you're going to get that lifetime warranty on these. So be sure to check these ratchets out. If you don't mind, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. Also, would you hit that like and subscribe button, but only if you like this video. If you hated this video, by all means, give us that thumbs down, but would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.